welcome to our third Ask the Trainer of December 2020. I'm Dana, our Behavior and Training Program Coordinator here at the Animal Welfare Society in Kennebunk, Maine. And in this week's Ask the Trainer, we had some questions about table manners for dogs, counter surfing, and the American Kennel Club's Canine Good Citizen title. We're also going to show off some tricks, so I want to save enough time for that. We hope everybody is staying safe right now, and we certainly miss seeing more faces. While we still see some of you sometimes, we definitely miss getting together for our group classes and just in general more often. So we can't wait. Hopefully 2021 is going to bring in some better news and able to get kind of going in training again. So anyway, in the spirit of holiday preparation or any time, definitely teaching our dogs or puppies some table manners can be important. So let's dive right into that. Okay, so your dog is begging at the table, they might be jumping up, stealing food off the table, and you're just trying to eat. Well, it's really hard to train your dog and eat dinner at the same time. So our first suggestion is that you separate your dog a little bit, especially puppies. And you can do this by putting a gate up and leaving them in a room gated so that they can't get into the dining area. You can use their crate or maybe a leash that's tethered to a wall or a piece of furniture. So this way they're unable to physically jump on the table and get in your way. But we also want to make sure that when we do this, our dogs are having a positive experience. So it's not just I'm left out and really frustrated that I can't get to you, but are able to settle by themselves. So how we do this is we provide them maybe their own dinner at this time. So they're behind a gate, they can see you, but they have their own dinner to eat. Maybe it's a special treat after dinner, so they've already had their dinner, you're ready to sit down for yours. That we use like a Kong stuffed with some peanut butter or their food. Kong.com has like a whole list and recipes on their website. So if you're getting bored with your Kong recipes, check out their website. They have tons of ideas. But maybe it's, anything that they can chew on that might last a little while and something special that they kind of get only when they're able to rest and settle by themselves. So if you're using your crate, or using a gated off area or a tether to prevent frustration, give them something special of their own to hang out with. And the more you get to practice this, that they are separated and not jumping, the less that they're going to do it in the future. So this is kind of our temporary management solution to help teach them it's okay to be alone and it's not okay to jump on the table. So we don't provide them access to be able to practice jumping, and instead we give them a place they can settle by themselves. So then this kind of leads us to our other question about counter surfing. So dogs who jump up on the counters while you're cooking or after you've cooked and are stealing sandwiches, ingredients, a whole turkey from a dog I may know. Dish towels sometimes are really fun. So again, in this way of it's kind of the same answer. So this practicing of good behavior versus, setting them up to fail. So we want to give them opportunities to practice good behavior and no opportunities to practice the bad behavior of counter surfing. So how we do this is you can gate off your kitchen or have your dog learn a place cue to be on their place. You can do that for the table manners as well. You can have it so your counters are very, very clean, and the only time your dog has access to the counters, if they did jump up, they wouldn't get anything. Every time your dog jumps up on the counter and grabs a sandwich or grabs a dish towel, it's going to be exponentially harder to break them of that habit because it's this kind of like fun game of, ooh, what will I get up there? But if you keep your counters like sparkling clean, no crumbs, nothing fun up there, and they keep jumping up and don't get anything, they're going to stop doing it anyway. So this would be another way of like using a gate, using their crate, using a blanket or a mat for them to settle on, and keeping them away from the counters in the first place, as well as making sure they don't get up anything that you possibly could have left out. So those are, it's kind of the same answer for table manners and counter surfing. Okay, so our third question this week was, we're practicing at home a lot. There's not really an opportunity for many group classes or private lessons. And we have people who want to complete their American Kennel Club Canine Good Citizen evaluation, which is such a fun thing to work on. And for those of you who don't know, the CGC, or Canine Good Citizen, is a test from the American Kennel Club that pretty much proves that you have a really nice dog. So it's 10 test items that kind of go through, is your dog okay to be greeted? Are they okay to get groomed? Can they see another dog without freaking out? Can they do their basics of sit, down, stay, and come? Are they able to pass through a crowd and not jump on people? That kind of a thing. So for those of you who want to practice this at home, I have a few suggestions. So the first suggestion would be, look at the American Kennel Club's website, so akc.org. And then if you click on the link for products and services, and then click on the Canine Good Citizen, which is going to be on the left column under training and services. And then when you're on the CGC page, click on Take the Test. So when you're on the Take the Test page and you scroll down, there is a link of all 10 test items with their descriptions, what you have to do, and most of them have videos as well. So that would be the best way to start just familiarizing yourself with the test, what you need to do. If you go on YouTube also and just kind of search for videos about the CGC test items, you'll be able to see people practicing. So take a look at those, see what areas you might have some trouble with, what your dog already really knows well, and then start practicing for those specific items. And I would practice in your home. I would practice out on the street. You're not going to have too many opportunities to have strangers approach your dog, but if you have somebody in your COVID bubble that would be willing to come over and help be the stranger or the test evaluator, you can maybe put them in that role a little bit there. So the other thing that you can do is schedule a virtual consultation with us. Sorry, we have somebody poking in over there. But you can schedule a virtual consultation with us. So if you wanted to do this, we could review any videos that you've taken. We could troubleshoot some of the areas that you're having issues with. We can start to come up with a training plan if you needed it. It could be anything that we are working through. So we can review videos, we can work live, and kind of go through the steps there so that when you're ready to meet with somebody in person, it would be a quick review and then the test. Also, just of note, testing has changed a little bit. So we don't have to do any handshakes in this test anymore, and the walk through a crowd portion is very socially distanced. So your dog probably wouldn't even have the opportunity to jump on anybody anyway. All right, so if you have any questions, you can always email us training@animalwelfaresociety.org, and we can answer anything there, or schedule any lessons if you'd like it. And then what we're gonna do next is I need you to give me 2 seconds, and we are gonna grab a dog and show off a little bit of 2 tricks we can practice for the holiday. We are going to work on take a bow, where your dog gets into the downward dog position. The fun thing about tricks is you can call it take a bow, you can call it downward dog, call it whatever you'd like, and we're gonna practice spin. So these are quick, easy, fun things. If you haven't done them with your dogs before, it can be a way to practice something a little bit out of the ordinary. I think we get bogged down in so much obedience sometimes that it would be really nice to be able to do something that's just fun and gives your dog something new to think about. So if you have not shopped for your dog for the holidays yet, I do recommend getting a big book of dog tricks, and it's something that can keep you busy during our cold winter months, especially here in Maine, where it gets so snowy. Okay, so I'll be right back, and I'm going to grab a dog, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Thanks so much for waiting as I went to go get JoJo, and we're going to do some holiday tricks now. I know I just said like 2 seconds ago we were going to teach spin, but it's really not JoJo's favorite. So in the spirit of like, these are holiday tricks, they're supposed to be fun, we're not going to make him do anything he doesn't really want to do. So we're going to teach a sit pretty instead. So your dog does need to know how to sit for this. And this is where their butt and feet stay on the ground and their front paws come on up. So it requires quite a bit of ab strength, and that might take a little bit of time to develop. But how we do it is we put a treat in front of their nose, we bring it up, yeah, and treat in the air while their paws are up. Good boy. And we might put it on cue and call it pretty. Or in my house, we call it squirrel because they look like a little squirrel when they do it. So that's my first trick, and it's kind of nice and fun to do. It's a nice little ab exercise. Yeah. And you want to make sure they're nice and straight so that they're not wobbly. And you can start really small, and then we can go forward. So the next one we're going to do is take a bow, or downward facing dog. So if we want to do any doggy yoga, it looks like this. And we start from a standing position, and we bring the treat right down to their paws and reward when they, what are you doing with those back legs? That's really silly. You sit, good. And we reward them for just their elbows going on the floor and their butt staying up. So it's kind of exactly the opposite of the last trick we just did. Come here, bud. We're going to bring it right down to the floor here and treat him. And sometimes we have to push the treat in a little bit towards their paws. Good boy. If they lie down, that's okay. Again, this is just something fun to do. So, come here. Good boy. Good dog. Oh, what a good boy. You are a rock star. Good job, JoJo. So those are our 2 fun holiday tricks. We hope that you practice some at home. Have fun with your dog. If you have not done some holiday shopping yet for your pup, I do recommend getting a big tricks book because it's really fun and something to do in the cold weather when maybe we don't want to do as many outside things. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week on our Tuesday Ask the Trainer.